What is up, my crypto legends? Sorry for being so late today. It was very busy. We're going to go analyze the situation right away here for Bitcoin and stock market. We're going to take a look at the DXY. Also, make sure to destroy that like button, guys. And let's dive in straight into the content. We're going to analyze Bitcoin, of course. We'll be analyzing, such as Ethereum. We can also take a look at the stock market. Stock market is looking really good here. I'm going to talk about, what is currently happening at this range right now on the stock market. This does look really good for a potential swing short position on the stock market. We are confirming that we are not managing to break above here the 4,030 points high that we did create here on Friday, if I'm not mistaken here. No, sorry, yesterday. Friday was this one right over here. And yesterday we did create this high. It's currently not managing to get above it. So let's see if we do get a bounce here on the S&P 500. I exited my short positions here at this range, because we were going higher, had a little bit of correction, and just seeing here this failed breakout, it would be nice to see a small little bounce, okay, on the S&P 500 to get into that short position right now, confirming that we've failed to break down. If we do get a small little bounce after claiming these lows, then I would enter a swing short position again. In a short position on Bitcoin right now, and I'm going to explain why. We did claim the highs, guys. Sorry, it would have been nice to do this live, but I've had a really busy day. Stuff coming up, okay, with Bitcoinsensus, with me personally, and just getting a lot of stuff ready, meetings. So really sorry for this late live stream. Okay, it's about 2 hours later than usual. Overall, what we talked about on yesterday's stream, it was pretty clear. We were waiting to actually claim these highs. The structure was still pretty bullish, right? This does look like a kind of an ascending triangle scenario. We're still creating higher lows. We were likely to still continue with this higher lows. I was waiting for this range. Let's go to zoom in on the 15-minute time frame and analyze this situation, okay, right away on Bitcoin, where we were waiting potentially for these highs to be claimed. Also on most of the exchanges, there were a lot of exchanges where this high from the 14th of January was not claimed with this move, such as Bybit, and now it suddenly got claimed just a few hours ago. So what has happened, is that we've got a rejection. It was a failed breakout, as you can see. And where did we retrace to from that local low? We got a volatility to the upside, to the downside, from this high to the low. Where did we hit, guys? Yes, we hit that 618 range to give us that really nice entry, guys. And obviously, this is where I entered a short position, okay? As you can see here, I have been taking some profits at the low, okay, and protecting the position, okay? So just a few $100 scalp day trade scenario, taking a little bit of profits. But obviously that is the level, guys, that we want to get into, all right? This has just been explained so many times on different live streams, right? Let's wait for that reaction from the highs. And of course, this low level is a take profit range, because if we fail to break this low, it could be a double bottom scenario, right? So it's always good, take some profits, have a little bit of that position open just in case we do actually finally break down, and we could get into that epic short scenario, right? Where it's going to give us, much more than what we are risking basically here. Breaking structure, we could have a much larger correction going to that low $20,000 range. This is how we want to try and approach these scalping scenarios. Would have been absolutely phenomenal to do a live stream with this scenario, but basically it is there, guys. This is very much mentioned on live streams, these scenarios, claim these highs. When we were trading yesterday, round about this range, can't remember exactly where we were, there were two scenarios here. Let's wait and see what happens once we get out from this trading range. Let's see how we're going to claim the highs. Is it going to be a successful breakout and we are going to move to higher levels? Or are we going to fail to break out and get back acceptance below this high, get inside of the range with a massive wick? Or are we going to break here this last low? I think this was from yesterday. This was I can't remember where we were trading. Today's the 17th. I think it was this one right over here. This low over here, I think we were trading around about this range. So the plan was to break down from this low, okay, successfully, or a swing failure and have that massive move up, just like what happened right over here, or have a successful breakout, okay, and then get into that trading scenario where we are going to go to lower levels. So yeah, we had momentum to the upside. We tested this high, not this one. We finally tested this high over here today, just a few hours ago, having this massive big wick. Now, am I going to short here? No, because this could still continue to the upside, right? You know, we could have, to have tight stop losses, it's not a great level to short. I wait for that level to get the rejection here, as you can see, and the best trading scenario, of course, to come at least to test the low levels here is getting here into the 618 Fibonacci retracement from this high to the low where we touched perfectly, guys, perfectly. And that is when you want to execute that perfect trade here, as you can see on the chart. Okay, now this is, look, this is getting weak. Okay, this is probably going to double bottom and we're going to come up. So is it a good time to short right now? Absolutely not. You want to get into the best shorting scenario, like I just explained right away. You know, failing breaking up the high and coming to the 618. You come and test the lows. I've taken profits here. I mean, this is just a few $100 trade, but you know, profits are profits, right? You know, let's call it a day if it's a good trade of a few $100 for a scalp scenario day trade. If we go lower, yeah, then it can turn into a multi-$1,000 trade. But if it doesn't, well, then we'll look for the next scenario. If it does come up here, I get stopped out at break even. We see another weakness movement, all right? We do see weakness again. Then we could consider getting into another trade. Overall, right now, we're just testing the lows and it's managing to hold. So there's no power. So the possibility here in coming to higher levels it's there, okay? The possibility is here. So we're going to talk about S&P 500. Why would I consider, let me just double check here the charts, you know, we're getting a small little bounce on the S&P 500 right now, not much of a huge bounce, but overall what I would expect here is, you know, in this bounce, I would be aiming the same scenario, guys, looking for that 50% 618 scenario, okay, from this big major rejection, all right? If we do take a look at the 1 hourly, I mean, this is a perfect failed breakout from this high, right? So if we were to claim these lows, bang, and then come up here, it's very likely, you know, this is going to give me a really nice tight stop loss. And same scenario, this is getting exhausted. We are ready to roll back down. I'll be waiting, you know, patiently to see if we do have that momentum to the upside on the S&P 500 to get into that swing short scenario. Not much I can add here, guys. Not much I can add. Let's go through the comment section. Sorry for being late, guys. I've been extremely busy. But hopefully tomorrow I will be able to do the live stream on the US Open to see that small little volatility for those opportunities. Smash up the like button, guys, if you wish. We're over 400 people in the live stream at this moment. So where could we see the next trading scenarios, guys? This is what we're going to talk about as well. What would be absolutely phenomenal here would be breaking the structure of this momentum that we've had for the last few days. You know, it's probably going to come back up in the high. You know, if we do not have any power and continue up, there might be another attempt in trying to break this high, guys. So if that does happen, we're going to talk about rejection points, which would be the weekly level here at 21,830. We got a nice weekly level where we could get a rejection, okay? If it does break out with a huge amount of volume, this will be exciting, okay? I would be looking for a scalp day trade long scenario if we were to have big volume on this breakout. We need to note here that the structure of this is still relatively bullish, right? It is a kind of an ascending triangle scenario where we have the highs, wicking above the highs already. So if you are shorting, right, this kind of ascending triangle or bullish momentum, you want to have very good risk management, guys. You know, this is the thing. Yesterday I said, you know, I'm not trading. I'm waiting for this to happen, or I'm waiting to break the lows here to get into those nice little bounce of support and resistance zones. Yeah, finally executing this short position exactly at 21,340 range, which is the 618 from that failed breakout. And protecting position, of course, after, testing the bottom, right? Because what could happen is that you could form a double bottom scenario, guys. This is this is why we're playing defensive trading. Whoever's shorting this range right over here and has a stop loss right there after testing this low, I think this is, pretty irresponsible, right? If you're in pretty nice profits, from your stop loss, obviously you want to take some off the table and you want to play defensive trading. If we do get a movement up here to the upside and get, exhausted, get a rejection, even though I do think that this high will be tested if this high is hit. Okay, I don't think we're going to reject there. If it is broken and we come to the upside, then we'll consider another trading scenario. Failed breakout from this high, for example, if it breaks out with a large amount of volume, then we could consider that we are going to get a bounce to test the highs again, guys, and then double top scenario from there. But this is where we want to get into our trading scenarios, right? We're looking for the breakout and the retracement, get in and get out, protect position, take profits, get in, get out, protect position, take profits, consistently like this. Anyway, let's go through the comment section. Sorry, guys, I've had such a busy day, guys. Let's get that educational content, on YouTube, like always. Talk about some scenarios. DXY, guys, DXY for me, the reason why I'm also looking for shorts from this range and playing very defensive trading, okay, like as always, is because hey, we're hitting that multi-year trend line, resistance trend line at this moment on the DXY, okay, as you can see here on the chart, right? That lower high from 2016, 2017, 2020, we're just right there at that level. We actually broke out and slightly got a bounce from that range. So we're just right there. I mean, I think this is a level where we could, just have volatility to the downside. I don't think that we're going to go, well below the 101, 100 range. I don't think this is going to happen because if not, this is confirming the bull market is here, right? The bull market is definitely here. If we start getting below this range, in my personal opinion, breaking successfully below the 100 range, I think there's 102, 101, just a bit of volatility, expecting that big bounce. This is also 50% from this low to the high, as you can see, just hitting it exactly to that level right now as we speak. So I would expect a big major bounce on the DXY in the coming weeks, guys. DXY does get that big bounce. This will help Bitcoin have that rejection, right? Because Bitcoin's at resistance. It's had a massive rally to the upside. Is this rally going to continue, guys? Are we going to go to $25,000? Well, in my personal opinion, if we do see the DXY pumping from this 102 range level, it's going to help Bitcoin finally get that rejection from this point. If S&P 500 as well is failing to get above this high of 4,030 points, looking at the E-mini futures, remember, if we zoom out on the daily, this is in a big macro downtrend, all right? Are the market makers going to allow to get above this range? This is where people are probably going to start getting, a little bit bullish, and we're going to have some pretty large momentum to the upside on the S&P 500 in the coming weeks. Is that likely, or is it likely to finally continue this downtrend? And this is just some, short squeeze scenarios, and it's finally going to have that rollback down here in the coming weeks. So I think that is the most likely scenario to happen. And there is a high correlation still with stocks and Bitcoin, of course. Stocks at a big resistance zone, S&P 500, you can see it here, multi-year, multi-monthly, this is from 2022. As you can see, massive downtrend. We're hitting, 618 fib level from this high to the low. 61865 is getting hit with a low high resistance. It's at resistance, guys. It's at resistance, and that roll down could happen any day right now to the downside. And we know that there is a high correlation with stocks and Bitcoins. We just want to be very much aware that this scenario could happen, guys. This has just potentially been a liquidity grab from this high. I'm trying to get into those shorts, so then I'm going to have a short position. If we were to break the structure and have a larger correction, getting down to 20,000, 19,500 range, that is going to be a very, very good short position. High risk to reward. If I'm getting into a short position here, guys, we know the deal. That possibility on a large correction for Bitcoin is very possible, even though this is still kind of bullish, right? We're still creating higher lows. It looks like that we want to break this resistance. This is why, if we are wrong, if I am wrong, shorting the market here at these high levels, I want to have good risk management. I'm going to lose a small amount of capital. And, or if I can, manage to take some profits here from a short position, just like I showed you here, and protect my position, then happy days, I'm protected. I'm in a free trade. I'll analyze the situation here if we do go to higher levels. If I'm wrong, I want to have I want to have good risk management, and I want to protect position at all costs. If this does finally have that continuation to the downside and starts breaking the structure, starts breaking the higher lows, support levels, the weekly that we have here, the point of control from this range, then obviously, we'll be breaking that structure, and we are likely to have that continuation major correction, guys. It is time for a major correction, but so you can understand this potential scenario, is that the risk to reward is going to be relatively nice here. Stop loss above the wick, once you start breaking structure, you name it, we'll be looking for those big support levels, which is round about the $19.5, $20,000 range. There's a lot of support levels that we can analyze also on the live stream, so that risk to reward is 4, 5 to 1, as you can see here from that shorting scenario. So just a bit of that, the potential scenarios. So what scalping day trade scenarios could we find out? And I'm going to say what are the scenarios that we could expect to take those opportunities. I was totally transparent on yesterday's live stream, when we were trading at this zone, saying, hey, this is a bit of a 50-50 for me. I'm leaning higher, I'm leaning more to the side that this high is going to be tested. That finally happened, but I really don't have 100%, 80% confidence. If I'm 80% confident, obviously I would be taking that trade scenario. The scenarios that I was waiting for here was a clear breakout from this structure. No wicks. We don't want to see any wicks. We want to see a large move down with high volume. Then we could take those opportunities here to test these low range where you could get in and out of a trade scenario. The other scenario was a big breakout with high volume, potentially, getting into a nice, scalp scenario to claim the highs, or a failed breakout, which, is obviously one of the favorites, right? One of those that give you a high probability to trade scenario. So failed breakout right over here, guys. And it's pretty clear, mentioned on many live streams, the biggest scenario, you cannot short here at the highs because you do not know if this is going to continue up. If you start trying to call the highs, you're probably going to get blasted off. We know when Bitcoin wants to break out, or any other asset, if you start trying to short a pump, this could actually bump up and start pumping $1,000, $2,000 to the upside. You're going to get absolutely burnt if you're trying to short a pump, right? Or long a drop. A falling knife. So you wait for that rejection, wait for the acceptance. You got a pretty nice entry right over there, and a pretty nice first take profit range and protect position from your stop loss right there. That is giving you a 1-to-1 trade scenario. Hopefully you're not going to claim this high. When you are having that failed breakout to the upside, you expect that the price is going to have a larger correction. But sometimes it won't happen. You're going to test the lows, and it's going to be a double bottom, and you're going to come back up and test the highs. This is why you want to play defensive trading, guys. Let's go through the comment section, and then we can talk about some levels and some trading scenarios that could happen in between today and tomorrow. Overall, if we don't break this low, this is technically still relatively bullish, as you can see here. There's no really successful breakdown from the last higher lows. If you do take a look at this higher low right over here, it's not a successful breakout. We've just wicked below to get that, liquidity, right? People like to place stop losses below the lows or the highs. So, this is just a big liquidity grab. This is no successful breakout. You could consider a long position at this range with a stop loss here. as well to hedge that short, right? So you like kind of hedging, that short position. So you're in a short, you could be in a long as well, getting into that 618 from the drop, very close to the lows, and place a stop loss below this level. If you get stopped out from this range, obviously you could take some profits from that short position, hedging into that long. But obviously the amount from that long position is going to be very, very small. Like kind of hedging short, long and shorts. We're getting a bit of pumpy action right now. So let's see what happens. We're going to talk about the scenarios. Overall, the structure is still relatively bullish. Highs are claimed, failed breakout, but when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and you are creating these higher low scenarios, guys, that there is also a high probability, okay, that you are going to hold the higher lows and you're going to attempt to break this high. It's very, very possible. Very, very possible. We could have potentially jumped into a hedge long position at the lows here, expecting that we're probably going to not break down below this level. So that wouldn't been a bad idea to get into a long right there, hedge long position, because overall the kind of structure here is still bullish. Like I said, looks like an ascending triangle scenario. Remember, this wick is only on a couple of exchanges. We do not see that wick on many exchanges. The structure still is relatively strong to the upside. We've had the S&P 500 just claiming this low over here, and now we're having the bounce. I would consider here entering into short position. I might do this live on Prime XBT, get into a scalp short position here, day trade. It might turn into a swing trade, but overall to claim the lows again after this bounce. My preferred scenario would be coming up to the 618 from the actual drop, 50% 618, and then have a stop loss above at the highs and claim the lows again. Let's see if we do get a little bit more momentum to the upside on the S&P. And then we'll analyze that scenario. Let me go quickly through the comment section, guys. Looking forward for more of the best TA on YouTube. Thank you again, Andy from Florida, USA. Smash the like button. Hey, MT, thank you very much. Yo, Andy, the man with a plan. Yes, Mark M. Always with a plan, guys. The plan yesterday was to wait patiently. Remember, waiting, not taking trades is also part of trading, right? If I am not sure what is going to happen, if there's 50% of the price going up or down, obviously there was slightly higher probability of coming to claim the highs, right, because of the structure. So we were leaning a little bit more, let's see, the highs need to be claimed. Let's see how the highs are claimed. There's a quick little day trade scalp scenario, probably going to get stopped out at break even. This is holding pretty nicely, pretty bullish, as you can see here on the chart, not managing to break the lows that was created, right? Volatility up, down. Good entry here to take profit and protect position. It's forming a kind of a double bottom scenario, as you can see here. So it's probably gonna claim the highs and maybe attempt to break the highs as well. Let's see what happens here in the next coming hours. Baddies, how are you doing? Crypto Creation Club, hello. How are you? Thanks for joining. Like had been smashed. What's up, Andy? Ready for your stellar TA for the time? Yeah, we're gonna analyze Bitcoin and stock market more than anything. We can take a look at DXY because this is going to give us a little bit of, those potential decisions on to take those swing trades potentially. I'm looking for swing trade short positions. Obviously, those day trades, those scalps to the upside, as we are in, pretty nice momentum to the upside. But the reason why a swing trade short makes sense is because the DXY could get an epic bounce from this range in the coming weeks, and this would give a heavy retracement on Bitcoin. It will help for Bitcoin to get that heavy retracement. Remember, we are at a critical range at this moment, okay? Big level of resistance. We are also hitting, that 618 here from this high to the low right now, 61865 from this local high on the higher time frames on August the 14th, as you can see. That 618 fib level, we got a daily level. It's a liquidity grab. Of course, there is a scenario that if this breaks this level very aggressively, wow, I'm gonna, I would be looking for some kind of swing long positions, because I do think the highs will be claimed after a major correction. We'll be looking for those support levels if we were to get a big breakout from this high, guys. So we'll be waiting patiently to see what happens. We can take a look at lower time frames and look for those trading scenarios. But overall, this there were 3 scenarios yesterday. Well, basically 4 scenarios trading here. Claim this low. Will it successfully break it or create a failed breakout, and it might have a big bounce to the upside? We'll be claiming the highs again. If that does happen, we either successfully break down. If it successfully breaks down with high volume, we are likely to get rejected and test the lows again. Bullish scenario, claim the highs. This was not a proper claim of this high. We didn't reach it, as you can see. This was the real one. Bang, bang. We retrace. You come up to the 618. You can get into a trade, take profits at the low, protect position. If it's claimed again, then we'll reconsider what is going to happen here. Hey, looking at this momentum, if we didn't manage to break the lows on this failed breakout, on this swing failure, hey, are we going to break this high? Are we going to finally break it? The structure's still here. These are only failed little moves down. The structure is still relatively bullish for the last 3-4 days. So, when you're trying to fight this trend and getting into this failed breakout short positions, you want to play defensive trading, right? You want to get, really, really defensive. You want to zoom out and understand that the bullish structure, that the structure is still bullish. So shorting the market, you're fighting against this trend. Overall, it's better to long. It's really better to long the range. It's safer to long the range because the trend is your friend, the structure is your friend. The structure is still relatively healthy to the upside. So, yeah. Something that I wanted to point out there, just to, giving those little education tips. Yeah, anyway, let's go through. Andy, BTC CME Gap. Yeah, there's a huge CME Gap here at, where is it? BTC one chart futures. It's around about 19,500 or 20,000. Yeah, no, well, 19,900. I'm really not much of a CME gap guy. I know they say there's the prophecy that CME gaps always need to be filled, right? So, but it can be filled maybe next year, who knows, or in a month. Usually it happens on the lower time frames, right? The next few days after, or maybe a week after, it finally fills up, right? So, not much of a gap trader, right? Because it's like, hey, we need to fill the gap. We need to fill the gap. How can I get into a short, knowing that we are going to fill the gap? Anyway, that gap is exactly at the $20,000 range, right? So yeah, that's a potential 1,200 corrective move from the current price where we at right now. So yeah, it could potentially be filled in the coming days, or depending on how, we're going to get exhausted here. Are we going to test the high again and fail? At some point we should be having a corrective move after this epic pump that we've had here for the last couple of weeks, guys. It's just been an epic pump to the upside. When is this going to correct? Is this going to, continue mooning like this? Or are we going to finally get that correction? Or it's just a matter of time and trying to spot those nice entries at the highs, knowing how to protect your capital to finally enter those trades, right? So, hey Andy, what your top 3 altcoins be with the most potential and the good fundamentals? Wow, happy Manetje. I would high risk to reward or high, because altcoin, I know Ethereum. I think Ethereum is one of those cryptocurrencies that is going to hit $10,000, right? That would be an aim goal. I do think that this blockchain, which is the strongest, it's the largest, it's where most of the crypto projects are built in. The stable coins, is the mother of blockchains, right? Ethereum. So you would, I know Ethereum would be a good one, but a high risk to reward. If you're looking for that high risky one where you could lose 50% of your gains of your capital in a matter of days or weeks, or you could potentially, 20, 30, 50x your gains as well, in the coming months. Well, like I said, a lot of people know, I think Saito is one of them. Saito is incredible Web3. It's not proof of work. It's not proof of stake. It's proof of transaction on the browser, basically, where you are. You need to take a look at this, okay? It's one of my favorite high risk to reward. It's got a very, very low market capitalization. I think it's in between $20,000 and $30,000 of market cap. So it does have a lot of potential to the upside in the coming months and years. At least a 10, 20x scenario would be realistic. I'm not going to say 100x because, come on guys, let's be a little bit more realistic here. I do think a 10x, you could 10x your capital potentially in the coming months or years with this one. It's high tech blockchain, and the team's incredible, the roadmap is incredible. They are working very, very hard behind this project. So it would be my number one high risk to reward. And Metis DAO is also one. It's a layer 2 solution. We know Polygon Matic is an incredible layer 2 solution for the Ethereum blockchain. It's working. It's successful, and it's done multiple, I wouldn't say tens, I would say even hundreds of X's, for the last few years. I remember seeing it at 1-2 cents, back in the day in early 2019, 2020. So Metis DAO is another L2 solution which has a relatively low market capitalization, and I think this one could easy 10, 20x. Who knows? It might 50x or 100x with the market cap that it's got. If it does go to the market cap of Polygon Matic, I think I haven't done the calculation right now, but it would potentially easy 100x. But anyway, I'm looking. 10x already is relatively good, and it could be even more. But taking a look at the market cap, it's 94 million. It's gone up quite a bit. 94 million market capitalization. And if you do take a look at Polygon, there's room for a lot of L2 solutions, okay? There's not only going to be Polygon Matic as a layer 2 solution, all right? There will be multiple ones with faster transactions, one with lower fees. Polygon Matic is at 9 billion. So, that... Metis is at 100 million. That would be a 90x if it were to be the same as this the market capitalization of Polygon. Being more realistic, I would say if it does reach 1 billion, which would be around about a 10x from now, reaching 1 billion Metis DAO, I would say that would be realistic. So yeah, that's another altcoin that I have been buying as well. And what other one? I like VeChain, but not that much. There's other higher ones, high risk to reward. There's this one right here. This one's absolutely exploding. I did see that Martini guy called this cryptocurrency. I'm not sure if you guys follow that Martini guy, but it was, about 10 days ago, he was talking about TAP, okay? And this one absolutely exploded. I didn't buy in on this, and I remember seeing his video, XTP. This is, a mobile application. It's fully regulated. It's also a banking mobile app as well. So something similar to Revolut or Crypto.com. But, he was talking about it just, about 10 days ago when it was, a fraction of a cent at this range. He does have his video up there. Kudos to him. Absolutely phenomenal. He said, I'm going to break the selling wall with this speculation, because this was just amount of buying and selling wall, and he actually, I don't know how much he deposited, about $80,000 buying this crypto, having this pump. He must have created this pump because it was very, very low in liquidity, and it's just absolutely flying. He's been talking about it, and now you can see a lot of YouTubers talking about it, and it's just getting into that FOMO stage, guys. I would be a little bit cautious with this now. This could get into a deep correction. Overall, this one still has a baby market capitalization. I've been going through the application as well, and through the app basically on the mobile, and it looks pretty good. And you actually need those tokens to get better deals basically with your debit card and the rest of it. But it's a pretty good. It's moved up quite a lot. This one was at about 4 or 5 million market capitalization, when he was talking about it. So it's obviously done more than 10, 20x since he's talked about it on one of his videos. It's still relatively small, if this one could still continue growing. in the next coming months, but overall it's had a relatively interesting pump. I would stay a little bit cautious. If I wanted to buy it here, I would wait for a deep correction on this to start laddering in. These low caps, can easily, 10, 20, 30x. This one has done a 10x in less than 1 week. So, there you have it. But yeah, Saito is a good one for me. Metis, there are multiple different ones. I would say Saito and Metis are the high risk to reward ones. Like Dutch BTC fan, how are you doing? L1 projects, Algorand, OneCoin as well. These L1 projects, but they are high market cap. These one could 10x in the coming months and years. So that would be more of a slow and but more guaranteed kind of return, right? These low cap cryptos. I was taking a look at this one. Now, artificial intelligence is something now that is absolutely banging, right? Is it? There was one, Clintex. Someone was talking about this one yesterday. I mean, this one already had some, this one already doubled in price in just the last few days, going from 1 cent almost to about 2 cents almost right now. So, but there's a big hype on artificial intelligence right now for the last few weeks. We can see a lot of people talking about it on Twitter, Instagram. Now it's something in crypto. Is crypto and artificial intelligence got something to do? Blockchain technology. There probably could be a hype like the metaverse. Remember the metaverse hype, guys? A lot of coins were doing 10, 20x in a matter of weeks. I mean, this could happen right now with artificial intelligence. Maybe Clintex. I haven't done a full research on this one. I was just, looking at it, for 10 minutes today, just going through the website. If we wanted to do full research, obviously you want to try and get in contact with the team, take a look at the roadmap, Telegram, what are their plans, tokenomics. I haven't got time to do this right now. I've got other projects in mind and trading. So, but overall, guys, make sure to, you can actually go on Google and say, hey, top 5, top 10, artificial intelligence, cryptocurrencies. If you go here, Singularity Net, there's fintech.iy, they're up quite significantly right now. They've doubled in price in the last few days. So they've probably got a lot of an uptrend still to go. Look at this. I mean, look at Singularity Net. This is only in about 5-6 days. This has already done a 2-3x easily. Will the trend continue, or is it just a small little hype? Once Bitcoin starts correcting, it's going to come back down. Very, very, very possible, guys. Just stay cautious. Make sure you do your proper research on these altcoins. For altcoins, you need is AVAX, Mana, CRV, and Sand. Yeah, these are, Mana, Sand, Metaverse hype is kind of popped already. Will Metaverse kick back in the next bull run? Potentially, yes. Hazu Official, how are you doing? Jamie Crow, how are you doing? Crow, you want me to take a look at Crow analysis? Let's try and stick with Bitcoin here a little bit. Well, I want to talk about some potential trade scenarios here if I do have some time. Let's take a look at Crow anyway. I got some people saying, take a look at Crow. Crow's had some pretty nice price action to the upside. Today we got a relatively nice bounce here from this support level. Yeah, I would say, I think we were talking about Crow the other day. We are potentially going to go all the way up to 9-10 cents in the next coming days. It might take 1 week, 2 weeks. We might have a corrective move here and then try and go up. Overall, it does make sense, guys, after this nice round consolidation, kind of double bottom, Adam and Eve scenario. We are likely to get that momentum on Crow, on crypto.com, cryptocurrency. There's a big level here at 10 cents. This is a psychological level that we need to arrive, right, after this large consolidation we've had for the last few months. So I would stick bullish here on the short term on Crow. Obviously, it's gone a little bit, this bullish momentum for the last few weeks has gone a little bit overextended. If we do have, a relatively deep correction and consolidate at these levels, then, you know, we are likely going to have another move to the upside on Crow. So Crow does look relatively bullish after this nice round formation here, as you can see. Any corrections here would be good. All right, I do think that the market makers are going to actually go all the way up to that 10-cent level. It makes sense looking at the higher time frames, right? It does make sense that we are going to go higher in the coming weeks on Crow. So smash up the like button, legends, as Father Time. Hey Andy, what? Right. Saboshi, Joseph, super chat. Thank you very much, guys, for letting me know. The Truckening 11. Thanks for the super chat. No question here. Let me know if you have any questions. My mods will let me know. Wow, there's so many comments here. Some comments here that I cannot read from my mods, saying that, you know, I am a gap filler. Yeah, we can see that Bitcoin probably needs to fill up that gap in the next coming days. Let's see if that does happen. Right, smash up the like button. We've got Sin Games here giving a massive support. Hey, you might become a mod here if you still continue giving me this insane support. Sin Games, thank you very much. Right, did you see Aave today, says Pan Marian. Let me take a look at that right away. Aave, someone said, have I taken a look at Aave today? Has it had a blast off? Has it had some momentum to the upside? It has had some pretty nice momentum to the upside. We've got a massive descending wedge scenario here. We can take that out of the way. It's just running flat. This could potentially be very close to the bottom. When we're forming this kind of price action, let's do some fresh analysis here. Yeah, I mean, I would consider in the next coming days, you know, if we are going to successfully break out from this last lower high here that we have created here for the last few months, right, on Aave, it's just there. This is a rejection point. If the price action does successfully, you know, break above this last lower high range, exactly at the $100, you need to be very, very cautious, guys. If we start consolidating here at this high, we are likely to reject heavily. Okay, it's a major level to look at here at the $100 range. If it successfully breaks down, wow, in the next big correction, if it does happen, you know, I see this level getting a huge bounce. You know, if we were to see a big breakout, I would be paying close attention to support levels, because this is likely going to create a higher low. You know, the bottom will likely be in the short term, at least, if we were to break this kind of structure. Overall, it's at a rejection point. You know, we're just hitting the trend line. We're trying to get above it, as you can see. Very, very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. High volume is kicking in. I'm not going to lie. There is high volume, at least on Coinbase. You know, it's the highest volume that we've seen for the last, you know, 5-6 months, looking all the way till July. You know, it's the highest volume that we do have on Coinbase, at least. So, you know, there is intentions here to potentially go higher. And try and test this high. You know, I think this high is likely to be tested. You're likely going to try and test this high. We're going to zoom in here on the lower time frames. Keep it simple, keep it nice. We're looking at the structure. Hang on one second. Let me just take a look at the value area. You know, the VPVR basically. Oof. I mean, it's a big level of resistance. Very, very difficult range. We're hitting the value area high right now. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult. Look at all of this volume that has been created right since May. All of the volume. This is the value area high of high volume. If we do break out from this zone, we could get a really nice spike to the upside. You know, we suddenly start seeing the volume disappearing on this range. No, not too much volume with this price action. We could see some pretty nice bullish momentum. If we successfully break out here, no doubt in my mind, I would be looking for swing long scenarios on the corrections, you know, to claim the highs. So far, this is still a rejection point, guys. It's resistance, you know, it's resistance. There is some volume kicking in right now, but we need bigger volume and bigger price action to the upside to finally break structure. This, if not, this, you know, this is a shorting range. You know, if you have good risk management, value area high, you're still in a downtrend. You know, there's a slightly higher low. It's a difficult level. It's a difficult level. You know, what would be the ideal scenario is breaking out and starting, you know, a new uptrend. Then this would be relatively easier to start longing, getting into some swing long positions, because you'll be breaking structure and you will be forming, you know, waves to the upside till you finally, you know, get a breakout of the structure. But overall, yeah, it's still aggressively in downtrend until we do not break above the $100 range, lower high. This is still aggressively in a downtrend. You know, that would be my macro brief explanation here on Aave. Andy, can you share your settings on the fixed volume profile? Absolutely. Fixed volume profile settings is, you know, it's the same. It's on default. The only thing I've changed is the row size. You know, the row size is these little blue and yellow lines, which is telling you the volume nodes basically from a range. I think by default they come pretty thick, but you know, this is relatively good to see, you know, to see actually the spikes where you do have high volume nodes to lower time frames. The row size is 200 basically, and it comes by default on 30 or 70, something like that. Hola Andy, check out Ali, Artificial Liquid Intelligence. Hice un 2X la semana pasada hoy. Right, Artificial Liquid Intelligence at Ali. Let's take a look at this from Mike Camera. Mark Dutch is not here in the comment section, but I got Seb, and Joseph. Strongest mods here, giving support. Thank you guys. Oh, awesome. I managed to catch you live today. Hi, Andy. I hope everything is going well with you, brother. You bless you, buddy. God bless you, buddy. You the man for real. Hey, Ahmed, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much. So let's take a look at ALI. That's Artificial Liquid Intelligence. 100 million market cap. Someone in the comment section is saying, hey, he doubled his capital here, entering about a week ago, and this one's already at 100 million, so it's a mid cap. It's having a little bit, you know, artificial intelligence is having a little bit of a hype right now. So, you know, in a bullish momentum market, hey, you could step in. You know, if you double your money, get your initial investment out, because, you know, when it's in an uptrend, it's kind of easy, right? Get into corrections and just kind of double your money and get out quickly, because you know, the hype could end up very, very fast. You know, who remembers the metaverse hype, right? Who remembers metaverse hype? You know, I remember very much like if it was yesterday, right? You know, massive metaverse hype back in, you know, this was at the end of the bull market, sorry. Most of the metaverse actually broke the highs successfully from April of 2021. You know, this metaverse hype was happening at the end of 2021, you know, November, December, you know, even January, but that was already the end of it, okay? And, you know, that was just a massive hype. You know, metaverse is the future, metaverse this, that, you know, this could, a very similar thing could happen with artificial intelligent cryptocurrencies. I'm not saying there's, you know, they could double, triple, you know, 10x in the next coming weeks. So if you want to try and jump into that, you know, artificial intelligence hype that there is, it's currently happening. You know, if you go to the search box here, you know, most of them are artificial intelligence. You got Gala, okay, which is, you know, from gaming, but you got Fetch.ai, so that's FET. You got Singularity Net. GeoJam, I'm not sure if that one's of artificial intelligence, but you've got a few of them already here, you know, that the relation is from artificial intelligence. So you could get into that hype train, guys, if you wish, but staying very, very defensive. You know, get your capital out as soon as you make some gains, because, you know, potentially bear market is not finished just yet. We're going to see some more downside and sideways action. Andy, can you please share this? Okay, I've taken a look at that comment. Andy, S&P is going around 618. Please have a look. Right, S&P 500 is having a pump a little bit, not quite reaching the 618 fib level. Ideal scenario for me here on the S&P 500 would be going a little bit higher. A little bit higher. 50%. VWAP would also be, it's hitting the VWAP as well. I like VWAP here on the lower time frames, 15 minute, 5 minute. Yeah, we could get that. Yeah, we could get that move. Yeah, it's happening right now. It is getting rejected from that level. There was a relatively good scalp scenario. If we get another pump, even better, you know, I would jump into a short scenario. But it was hitting 50% fib level, basically. 50% fib level and the VWAP. So yeah, there's a nice little scalp scenario, at least to the lows, and maybe the lows will be claimed as well, and it may be even broken. If they are broken, this is going to confirm that the structure is breaking. You know, there will be time for me to jump in the next coming days into a short position on the S&P 500. You know, I'm not in a rush. If I do see that exhaustion and that potential turnover of the structure on the S&P 500, you know, I couldn't care less. You know, there would be obviously better entries to get into. Like I said, the 618, you know, that would be an absolutely phenomenal entry. You know, just imagine in the next coming days, couple of weeks, you know, you get into that entry point right there, stop loss there, you suddenly come and test the lows, you start breaking the structure here that you have created for the last few days and couple of weeks. And then, you know, you start making this, you know, if you shorted right there, you know, you're an absolute boss, right? You're an absolute boss right there if you're just trying to get into that high. But overall, you know, there will be time to jump into some shorts if we do break down here the structure on the S&P, the lower time structure here from this uptrend. There will be time to jump into some trade scenarios that we can talk about on the live streams. Overall, it was, you know, that was it, guys. It's hit 50% basically. And it's getting that retracement at the moment. It didn't quite hit the 618. It just about hit the 50% Fibonacci retracement. So yeah, just hit 50% fib level and having the correction. So yeah, no trades on S&P for the moment. Bullish momentum on the trading scale perhaps. Thanks for the stream, Andy. Hey, Joseph, thank you very much for joining. You're the man. I got Joseph and Seb here. Beagle Eno feeling bullish for walkies. Yes, he is. It's time to walk the Beagle Eno. I've got 2 dogs that I need to, yeah, dog is barking. He wants, you know, he's well, basically what he's saying is finish the live stream because it's time to go out. Yeah. What do I think about Rune? I think Rune is a good project. Rune is Thorchain. Thorchain, yeah. I think it's a pretty good project. 222 likes. Wow, the likes button is gone a little bit weak today, guys. I've had a really busy day. I wasn't going to do a live stream even today, guys, because I've been, you know, I've been full on. I've done a little bit of analysis, as you can see, because I got in that trade scenario. But smash up that like button, guys. I'm going to try and give a little bit of more professional video tomorrow. I've just been exhausted. I'm going to try and you know, do the live stream on the US Open tomorrow. You know, if we start breaking structure here, guys, it's just likely that we are going to lose it, okay? DXY is at a critical level for a massive big bounce. It's at a big support level, guys. DXY starts bouncing heavily before, you know, till the rest of the week. Oh wow, this is getting supported. You know, this is not some random trend line. This is, you know, that multi-year lower high trend line, and we are hitting 50%. You know, that is enough for me to think that we could get a big bounce from this level, okay? 50% fib level exactly in the lower high trend line. There's a big zone that I believe that is going to get a bounce. If this does get a heavy bounce in the next coming days, this is going to help Bitcoin to get that, you know, pullback, that rejection. S&P as well. at a critical resistance zone. Let's just wait and see, guys. You know, the best trading scenarios that could happen here on Bitcoin. Let's just quickly go through them right now on the higher time, lower time frames is yeah, I mean, if we do break out from this range, I would expect a rejection from this weekly level. The fib levels, we are at the 618, and the 65 is basically the top. So this would be a range. You know, this is still a range. If we do hit 21,800, 21,760, which is the 65, it's still a rejection level. I would expect another failed breakout if we were to attempt to hit that level, okay? So going to the lower time frames, if the price does manage to break finally up and test the highs again to get those early shorters, I think it's just going to heavily get rejected here from the 21,800. Strong weekly level. It's still the 618 range from that high that I've just mentioned. So yeah, I would still be looking for shorts with good risk management, because that drop, guys, could be epic and you could make some huge gains compared to what you're risking, okay? You can get stopped out 2-3 times if you manage to get into this epic trade scenario, because you will make much more gains than your stop loss, no doubt about that. Stop loss is part of the game, guys. It's part of the game. The sooner you understand it, the better trader you are going to become. If we start breaking down the structure right now, then yeah, we'll just try and get into those bounces. If there's this high volume breaking down here, guys, stay cautious, because you could have an epic bounce to the 50% fib level, to the weekly, start getting rejection here from these high volume nodes that we do have, high volume candles, okay? Would be aiming the 20,800 range, 20,900 area, where we do have that point of control from this volume traded level. So if we were to get that breakdown here, hey, this is likely to get that continuation to the downside, okay? So we're aiming for these, you know, professional levels to get in and out, right, if we were to have that breakdown. Remember, if you are experienced traders and you want to know the exchange that I use, a lot of you know already, of course, Bybit, #1 exchange, okay, for trading crypto. PrimeXBT if I want to trade the S&P 500 or oil, gold, natural gas, Forex, using crypto as collateral, using Bitcoin, Ethereum, or stable coins. You've got an insane bonus down below, guys, that can be claimed. Obviously, you know, this is also another way to support the channel. You know, I do get a small commission from this, but you get an insane bonus. $30,000 can be claimed depending on what you deposit on Bybit. And on PrimeXBT, you get 7% of your initial deposit. No matter what you deposit, up to $100,000, you will get $7,000 on top of your deposit with Bitcoinsensus 50 as a promotion code once you sign up with the link down below. I've got video tutorials also, if you scroll down, okay, of Bybit and PrimeXBT if you want to learn how to use those exchanges properly, guys, okay? Nothing else, guys, is what I got for Bitcoin, S&P, DXY, which I think are the most important markets to analyze. Thank you very much, guys. I've talked about those trading scenarios. So far, this trading scenario is playing out here to perfection. This was very much mentioned. You know, I'm happy with a few $100 trade for today. You know, it's just everything counts, right? Take profit, protect position. If you are consistent at the end of the month, you will have some huge gains. So this was the scenario that was mentioned yesterday, guys. Failed breakout from the high. Wait for the retracement to the 618 from the high, local high of the failed breakout to the local low. Hey, where did we reject? Exactly to that level, guys. This is the trade that I am in right now, as you can see on Bybit. And it was mentioned on yesterday's stream, waiting for those scenarios. You just need to take action, protect position, guys. I can't do everything for you, but obviously this would be nice. This is good educational content, so you can get ready, guys. Be a better trader by tomorrow. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.